So look who has joined us in the makeup room. You all won't get to see her because she's in the back and way down low. Let's say hello, Psylocke. Hi. Pretty girl. Pretty girl. So, I don't know if you all remember Shadow. This is Shadow. Say hi, Shadow. Up there, let them see you. Let them see that pretty face. At any rate, of all the cats that was affected by Rogue's death the most, this was him. Rogue was kind of his girlfriend. Oh, I'm getting rumbly purrs. And we kind of worried about him for a little bit because he was obviously very depressed and looking for her. And just want to report that he's doing much better, that he's out during dinner and trying to beg, which he wasn't doing right after she died, and he wants to go now. Okay, go on. Go on. But he is definitely doing much better. I think we all are. It took us a little bit, but I think we all are. So hello, and welcome to domytriesthis. I hope you brought your cuppa. Today's coffee mug is actually almost 20 years old. If you hear music in the background, my husband is playing it on the porch, and it's a little loud. He sometimes isn't quite so aware. But at any rate, this one is almost 20 years old, I believe. This one was given to me by my mother-in-law early in my husband's and my marriage, and we've been married over 22 years, or about 22 years. Are we going on 23 now? I'd have to look it up. We've been married a long time, over 20 years. And so she gave this to us early, gave this to me early in our marriage because she discovered I love coffee mugs. And as you can see, it has little Santas caroling all through it. And yeah, so that's one of the Christmas mugs, one of my older mugs, like I mentioned before, bringing out the older mugs and the Christmas mugs. At any rate, in our Christmas mug today is a blend that is going to be a little bit unusual, and I'm a little bit concerned, but I wanted to give it a try. The first bag in here is the Stash Tea Mango Passionfruit. It's not one I drink often. It's a sweet tea, but it's a really nice tea. It's just not usually up my alley, so to speak. And the second one that I mixed it in was the Miracle Tree Moringa Organic Tea with Ginger. So we're going to see how these two blend. They may not blend well at all, unfortunately. But we're going to give them a try, and then we will go ahead and get started. Not getting much of a scent, unfortunately. It's still very hot. Okay, so getting a lot of sweetness from the mango, not getting the ginger yet. But I think that the mango and the moringa, because this has moringa in it, are blending well right now. That's a really interesting flavor. I'm going to have to let that sit, as usual, and get back to you on it when we taste it later. They may not mix well by the end of this, but right now they're doing okay. They're not quite fighting each other yet. They're working on their relationship a little bit in that teacup. Anyway, so today we are going to talk about my Indies brand list for 2020, for next year. I was supposed to do this at the end of my review video of all the brands that I managed to get off my list for 2019, of which most of the brands that I tried this year were not from 2000, were not on the list. Total brands I think I managed to try this year was 18 of them, and I do believe that I have at least half a dozen that I still need to get back to you guys on with reviews. But because that video got so long, this never made it on the end like it was supposed to. Honestly, it would have been a 45 or 50-minute video, so we're going to skip that. I'm trying to keep those down to just when I do my makeup, you know, don't need you guys having all that. So we're going to do that today, and we're going to start with the two that were on the list for this year, and I believe at least one of them was on the list for last year. Not positive about that, but I think it was. And then we'll move on to all the new ones. There are a total of 11 on the list this year, and one of them is a last-minute ad because when I went checking for the other brands that I was looking at, one of those indies had foundations out. So I went and checked foundations. It's one of the things I do check. I realize for independent brands, a foundation with a wide range is hard to do. However, I believe that if you're going to do a foundation launch, you need to do it, wait until you can do it right. So I went and checked their foundations, and they only had 12 shades. That took them off my list for the year. And we went straight to another one that I've been looking at for a little while. Most of these have come from Instagram. I follow them on Instagram. Two of these were introduced to me by the Beauty News girls. One of them is from a friend, and one or two of them is actually shown by YouTubers that I followed. One of them is no longer YouTubing, but she loved the brand, and the other YouTuber is now gotten the palettes for the brand, the palettes that I actually want. Anyway, let's just get into the list. Let's just get into the list. So the first one is Luella. That is one of the brands that I wanted to try this year. However, $65 for a set of brushes is something that's going to be hard to cough up, especially since I'm surrounded by brushes. However, I fell in love with their brushes, I believe, in 2018. And they were on my 2018 list. They're on my 2019 list. I do want a full set of brushes. They do have the sets broken up into face and eye, and you don't save much when you buy them like individually like that versus buying the whole $65 pack. But I would really just rather get the whole $65 pack in one big fell swoop. And it took me a little bit to actually decide which of these brushes I would really like to have. And I think I'd finally decided on their blue-green ones. I think they're their ocean one. They've got another one that's red with fire. However, that's Luella, and here is the brush set, one of the brush sets. But I think this is the brush set that I want. I'm pretty sure. Here it is. Next in our brands is Zoeva. Zoeva has the Icy set, I guess. It's got a palette. It's got a few other things in it. I fell in love with the palette, and I believe I saw them on Instagram, and I believe I wanted this palette back when it was released. I'm not sure when it was released. However, it is still available. It's not limited edition. It is part of their permanent collection, I believe. If it's not, it's going to be going out soon. But at any rate, so Zoeva is still on my list from 2019 to 2020, and this is that palette. So the next brand I've been hearing about for a little while, I've heard from it from YouTubers, used to be, and now I'm forgetting her name. Oh, Lord, that's terrible. I loved her too. She left YouTube. She's still on Instagram. I will find it and list it below. It's terrible that I can't remember, but one thing I have a terrible time with is names. It's true. Give me a voice, and honestly, I can recognize a voice and know who it is, but give me a name and it's gone. It just goes away. Ooh, bye. Don't know. Anyway, I really did love her, and I really do miss her on YouTube. She was a no-nonsense YouTuber. However, since she left, another person has started showing off some Melt things. And yes, so the brand is Melt. And I want this new palette set that you can get individually, but together they make a beautiful sugar skull type thing. But I've been hearing about them for a long time. They were just a brand that seemed out of my reach for a long time. So this palette set, I'm not sure what the total cost is, but if I can buy them individually one at a time, it's a little easier for me than buying the stacks, which were from my understanding, pretty expensive. Anyway, here is the palette from that I want. Palettes, there's two. So the next brand is actually from a best friend. I believe it's one of her favorite brands, if not her absolutely favorite brand. She was the one who introduced me to them as being a brand to look into, and then I picked them up on IG. And she really, really likes them. Now, I will admit that going to their website was a bit daunting. Things are not, I think they're a little, the organization is just a little weird to me. Let's just go with that. It's a little, you have to do some navigating to get to where you want. However, the colors look good, and from what I've seen on their Instagram, they are pigmented and they do well. Of course, you know, the brands always show their best. But this is one of my best friends who's saying that this is a brand that she really loves. And she's kind of a sister to me, so I thought, you know, I could give that a try. And that is Firene, and here is some stuff from this brand. Now, the next brand I followed on and off. I mean, I'd follow them for a bit, and then I'd like to keep my Instagram following down, because when it's too high, I can't see the ones that I really want to see. So I would unsubscribe from them and a whole bunch of other people, and then I would go back and resubscribe for some reason. Usually because I'm also subscribed to a couple of accounts that highlight indie brands on Instagram. So, and they would come out with something, I'd go, oh, that looks kind of pretty. I'd like to think about that one. Well, I'm subscribed again, going to stay on, because when I'm, the brands that I want to try for the year, for that year, I stay on for at least that year to see the different things that they are releasing, so that when I finally get to the point where I'm going to buy from them, I know what kinds of things I'm looking at. So this particular brand, I did that with quite a bit over the last year and a half or so, I believe. I believe it was a year and a half or so. My hair's driving me a little crazy. Sorry, guys. Anyway, and that is Certify. They have some very interesting looking palettes. It's just that for most of them, I was like, oh, I have that. Oh, I have that. But I recently saw a picture of a number of their palettes together and realized that at least one of those would have some colors and things that I could work with that I would really enjoy having. So the next one that is on my list is Certify. And here is some stuff from that brand. So the next brand, I believe, was introduced to me by Ipsy. And a lot of times with the new stuff from the little Ipsy Glam Bag, I will go and check things out and decide if I'm interested in the brand overall. And this was one that had a few things that I was interested in. So I followed them on Instagram, and they had some more things that I was interested in. So the next brand that I would like to try in 2020 is Kaleidos, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. I received a highlighter from them in my Ipsy bag. I still have it, although it's probably going to get decluttered to my daughter. It's kind of a peachy, orangey highlighter, and it's a really beautiful highlighter. It's a beautiful color. So I got introduced to them, but this is like the only thing of theirs I believe I have. So I would really like to try some of their other things. And here's some stuff from that brand. So the next brand that I want to try had a Christmas palette out in 2018 that I wanted to pick up. It was one of the few palettes that year that actually reminded me of Christmas. Most of the palettes that were coming out were variations of the palettes that they would put out any other time, and had no Christmas colors, or they would have one red or one blue or one green or something of that nature. And this particular palette actually reminded me of Christmas, and I never picked it up, and it went out of stock, and they said, it said on the site, I believe, would be restocking, or just they had said they were going to restock, and I never hit right when they were going to restock, and so I never actually picked up the palette. The brand went off my list for a little while after that, but they have said that they're going to re-release this palette. So I'm really hoping that they're going to hold true to that and that I'm going to get this palette. And it's from Give Me Glow. And here is that palette. The next brand was introduced to me by the Beauty News girls, and I really want to try their eyeliners. They have metallics, they have really bright colors. My only concern about the eyeliners is the type of brush it'll have. I'm really finicky with what kind of brush tip that I will use on my eyes. I think most of us are. We have particular types that we much prefer, and I'm a little worried that this is an actual little brush instead of like a marker point type thing. And so I'm kind of worried about using that. I've tried those little brushes and I don't particularly like them. But hopefully, if it is one of those little brushes, I can work around it. However, the girls absolutely love these particular eyeliners. They've talked about them frequently. They've talked about the new releases. They've apparently purchased all of the eyeliners. So I would really like to try the JD Glow eyeliners. And from what I've seen, there's a few other eyeshadows and stuff that I'd like to try as well. So here's some stuff from that brand. So I have to admit that the next brand actually got me on their packaging more than anything. In fact, they're one of two that got me on their packaging more than anything. And then they're going to be right in a row here. And that is Alien Cosmetic. However, having been drawn in by the packaging, when I went to the site, they had at least one palette, possibly two, but at least one palette that I'm really interested in trying, and that is Alien Cosmetics. They have most of their palette covers are really intriguing, to be honest. A couple of the palettes have more intriguing covers than what is on the inside, at least for me. However, there were a few that were very interesting that I'm interested in trying next year. And here's from that brand. And our next brand is Amy Hart's Beauty, I believe. I'm not sure. I don't think it's cosmetics. I think it's Amy Hart's Beauty. I just have Amy Hart's listed here. And she caught me on packaging as well. She did a reveal of, on one of the indie brand Instagrams I follow. She revealed the cover of this palette, and it's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. And the thing with something like that is that you're always worried that the inside will not live up to what you're seeing. The inside lives up to what you're seeing. This palette is beautiful. And I think in the picture I'm going to show you, it's quite possible one of the rows doesn't have everything completely revealed. It looks like they're just like pastels here. But the inside of this palette definitely is absolutely gorgeous. And I want this particular palette in particular. And it doesn't seem like it's too expensive. I believe it's about $30. So here is an image from that. And our last indie brand for 2020 that I want to try got on basically last minute, which is very interesting because I've actually been following them for a little while and have been interested in a few things that they have put out. So I don't know why I didn't pick them out before I checked out the brand that had the foundations and didn't have a whole nice broad range of foundations. The name of this brand is Doe Color, and the set I'm about to show you is a set that they have that's one that you can get the way it's shown. It has brushes, it has the palette, it's beautiful. And right now they're having a major sale, and I'm having to resist buying anything because they're for next year and I have to save for Christmas dinner. But anyway, here is Doe Color. Dew Color. Probably Dew Color. I can't pronounce things. I can talk. I just can't pronounce things. Anyway, here's that image. So that's our brands for 2020. I'm hoping I will manage to get all of them. The only one I'm really super worried about is the Luella. Even the Zoeva, I can find something affordable if I can't pick up that particular palette. Most of these I can find something affordable for me if I can't pick up what I'm specifically looking for. But I'm actually really hoping to be able to hit all of them for next year. So we'll have to see about that. And of course, you all know there will be others as well, not just these. We will get others as we always do, right? There's always more. Always more. But I think that 11 is a really good starting foundation for the year. They all have some amazing stuff on Instagram, and I encourage you to go ahead and follow them if you're interested in any of them, and I hope you are. I hope we've made you interested. And so, yeah, that's it. Those are the brands that I'm planning to try to get to next year. What do you think about my choices? Are there any of the ones that are you interested in any of them? Are you interested in anything that I've shown you specifically? And that will be it for today. And I hope you like what you've seen. And if you do like what you've seen and you're not subscribed yet, I hope you will subscribe. If you subscribe, so many ifs. If you subscribe, please hit that notification bell so you know when I upload. I currently upload 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But we do have bonus videos pretty much every month now with my son's My Geek box. We have one on the way. Don't know when it'll be here, but it's on the way. I've received a notice from his dad saying it's on the way. So hopefully very soon you'll get to see his November My Geek box. I suspect that the boxes ship mid-month or something like that for that month. And because they're in Europe, we will be actually posting them the beginning of the following month. I think that's just how it's going to run. But that is on the way for all my peoples who love my son, and I don't blame you. And I also do indie brand openings, so most of these will be opened on a bonus video, as well as subscriber mail openings when I get it. So if you're interested in any of that, you will have to hit that bell to know when those get uploaded, because they do not get uploaded on our regular days. If you are one of my notification squad, you'll want to check both your bell and your subscription to make sure they're both still active, though I doubt you're going to have any issues. Really. I suspect everything's fine. For now. We all know how YouTube works, though. Things happen. Things happen. YouTube does upgrades and things happen. They've done an upgrade that I don't like right now. Anyway, moving right along. If you choose not to subscribe, well, we'd be disappointed and sad. However, you are always welcome here because we love having the company. And when you do come back again, don't forget to bring your cup of tea. Alrighty, so, what do you guys think? Before I give a sip, decide what you think. Is it going to be good or bad? Do you think that Moringa and ginger and mango are all going to work together? Or do you think they're going to be like fighting each other? Hello, who's back there? Ah, we've got a Psylocke behind us. Anyway, have you thought about it? Got it in your head what you think is going to happen? Good or bad? Think I'm going to like it? Think I'm going to hate it? Think it's going to be just okay? All right, we're going to give it a sip. Well, they're not fighting each other. I am not getting much ginger at all, if any. Ginger is supposed to have a bit of a spicy kick, and I'm not getting that in here. I believe the Moringa... So the Moringa is the flavor that you get at the beginning of the sip, and then the sweet sourness of the mango hits you on the end. It's not bad. I wouldn't say it's a favorite blend. It's probably not a blend that I'll do again, assuming I remember I've done it this time. But it's not horrible. Oh, there's a little bit of ginger. It's a very tiny. Part of the thing is these kinds of teas, sometimes they have to be double bagged. So I'm not getting strong flavors from either tea. And I prefer a strong tea. Combined, they make a fairly strong flavor. It's just they're not fighting each other, but they're not really like saying, hi, I'm here either. So it's okay. It's not horrible. It's not bad. It's just not a blend I would probably do again. Anyway, that's it. I hope you all have a great day.